Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
I want to be free as can be.
They say that freedom is the ability to fully experience life. The GUT Credit Union is giving you the freedom to choose. Get a loan for any purpose, whether it's consolidating your debt, buying a vehicle, owning your home, back to school, or a dream vacation. We offer competitive rates with terms and payments that fit your lifestyle. Call 440-1354. Email loans@gutcu.com or visit go.gutcu.com/freedom to start enjoying your life, your money, your way. Promotion ends September 30th, 2022. Special conditions apply. More freedom, more choices. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
From the Grenadian capital, this is Network News for Thursday, August 25. In the headlines, Director of Public Prosecution says he's ready for legal battle with Harbour Master lawyer. Anderson Peters breaks his silence. Opposition concerned about government's back-to-school preparations. In around the globe, regionally, scrap iron protests continue in Trinidad over 6-month ban on exports. Internationally, Uvalde, Texas School District Police Chief fired over response to a mass school shooting in May. Plus, in the sports news, Guyana Amazon Warriors and Jamaica Talawars off to a winning start in men's 60. We are reporting the day's news. Stay close.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue. Available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Good evening from the Grenada Broadcasting Network. I'm Kenroy, Baptiste. Director of Public Prosecutions Christopher Nelson says he's ready to battle legally against Harbour Master crew lawyer Cajetan Hood, who accused him of misbehavior and abuse of power.
If Mr. Hood or his clients are not happy with any decision I have made, as an experienced lawyer and former Attorney General, he knows what to do. If he wants to go to court, I'd be happy to answer before any judge my decision in the case that he's concerned about.
Director of Public Prosecutions Christopher Nelson says he's willing to go to court to defend himself as he responded to allegations by the attorney-at-law representing the Harbour Master crew, Cajetan Hood. Hood accused the DPP of alleged misbehavior and abuse of power in his office when he discontinued charges against the Peters brothers by Hood's clients. DPP Nelson did not mince words as he described Mr. Hood's allegations.
Certain scurrilous and defamatory statements made by Attorney-at-Law Mr. Cajetan Hood regarding my behavior in the office of DPP. He stated, among other things, that I am biased, that I have abused my powers, that I am acting improperly in protecting a section of the community while shutting the door of justice on another section. These statements are erroneous, misconceived, and mischievous.
The defense lawyer on Tuesday called for the intervention of Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell to investigate the DPP's decisions to scrap the case against the brothers. The DPP explains that the law provides an avenue for his actions to be challenged, which does not have to involve Prime Minister Mitchell.
Under Section 86 of the Constitution, anyone, a civilian, including Mr. Hood, can write to the chairman of the Judicial and Legal Services Commission to have an investigation done into my conduct if he honestly and genuinely believes that I am biased, I am acting inappropriately, I'm abusing my authority. It doesn't cost him 1 cent or his client 1 cent to write to the chairman of the Judicial and Legal Services Commission.
He accused the lawyer of entertaining the public rather than taking the proper course of action.
And seek to engage the court of public opinion instead of the court of law or the body that has disciplinary powers over me. Leave the politicians out of it. Leave the Prime Minister out of it. You need not go there. Let's keep it professional. Simply write a letter to the Honorable Chief Justice. State your case. Outline what the evidence is. And let them do an investigation. But I don't think he would have the testicular fortitude to do that.
The attempted criminal charges against the Peters brothers were for harm, assault, abusive language, insulting language, and obscene language stemming from the August 10th brawl on board the party boat Harbour Master. For GBN News, Beverly Tellisford.
In the interest of clearing up any public confusion, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Christopher Nelson, shared some evidence that led up to his decision, including the decision not to press charges by both parties.
Mr. Hood filed 3 charges against Anderson Peters and 2 against his brother. The 2 charges against the brother are for assault and causing harm. You would be surprised to know that complainant, Mr. Hood's client, gave a written statement to the police saying that he does not want any criminal charges. Likewise, the complainant against that client, because that client was charged for causing harm and assault. In fact, the complainants, the both Peters brothers, said that they did not want to proceed against that client. Consequently, and having regard to all the circumstances, if big men have a squabble, if they throw a punch or 2 at each other and decide to shake hands and walk away, why trouble the court with that? So it was on that basis one of his clients was not prosecuted at all.
DPP Nelson broke down the different charges brought against the Peters brothers and his decision to discontinue them.
Against Anderson Peters, the captain, he alleged, complained of being harmed, assaulted by Anderson Peters, and Anderson Peters made use of obscene or insulting language or words to him. Now, you really want to go to court with cuss cases? In addition, there is the allegation that Anderson Peters caused harm to the captain. Would you know that in his statements to the police, the captain said that he received no harm or injuries from the altercation? So where is Mr. Hood going with that? He claimed assault. There is allegation of spitting. I assume that may be the basis of his allegation. But that evidence, when one considers everything in context, is unreliable, to say the least.
He went on to explain how a criminal matter is deciphered.
The captain and his crew members all could have been charged with the same assault and the same use of obscene, insulting, or whatever language Mr. Hood went to court with. They were not charged with those, what I call minor and petty offense. You see, in a criminal matter, you look at the matter in the round. You don't nitpick every minor infraction, you run with a charge. You look at it in the round, as I said, and you look what is the main conduct here that the state needs to punish. And as I saw it, it was the causing of grievous harm and harm.
The saying, a still tongue keeps a wise head, doesn't always work in the best interest of the parties involved. Sometimes a still tongue leaves room for another idiom. Silence gives consent to take center stage. That's the sentiment coming out of Anderson Peters' sworn affidavit. More in this report.
After holding his tongue since the incident on board the Harbour Master, world javelin champion Anderson Peters breaks his silence. Peters says after a long time of watching from the sidelines while his reputation is tarnished, it was time to clear his name. He did not instigate the fight. He said, quote, "Given the beating and humiliation I experienced, it is truly painful to now hear it being said and repeated in the press and on social media that I started a fight. It is not true that I attacked anyone. I was attacked in the manner I describe above. It is not true that I spat at or on anyone. It is not true that I threw water on anyone," he said in a sworn statement obtained by the local media. Peters and coach Paul Phillip had just returned to Grenada to an official ceremony hours before the fight. The athlete insisted the only time he used any word that can be labeled as cursing is when he responded to one of the crew members, Abiola Benjamin, who was telling him in an abusive and aggressive manner to get off the boat using expletives. Peters says he was not belligerent as opposed to what is being portrayed by members of the public and the media. He added in his affidavit, and I quote, "It is not true that my brother attacked anyone. It is not true that I was drunk. Over the 4 hours on the cruise, I had 2 drinks of Johnny Walker in a small plastic glass mixed with orange juice. It is not true that I insulted the nationality of anyone. I consider myself a Caribbean man. I have many Trinidadian friends in and out of the athletic community, including my fellow javelin athlete, Keshawn Walcott, who has been an inspiration to me." End of quote. The police investigations led to the subsequent sentencing of 4 crew members, not inclusive of Abiola Benjamin, who pleaded and were charged $5,500 EC dollars each. Cajetan Hood, the lawyer of the crew, then filed a private criminal proceeding. But Christopher Nelson, the director of public prosecution, shot down the charges and has since dismissed the case. For GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
Other news, one homeowner is living a nightmare as his only place of abode is being threatened. Christina John combed the wet terrain of Monkuma to bring you the story.
I just live with one eye closed. Because the amount of rain, this land don't move already, so anything could happen. Oh, boy.
Fitzroy Mitchell of Monkuma says his home is on the brink of collapse. Mitchell said the structure of his home has been compromised and so had to make adjustments for comfort.
Because of this thing here, because of the cutting of the bank here, that work as a slippage. Right? Now, naturally, my land was right down to the road here, so, and they cut plenty. Right? So, and this wall they are not too short to hold that fall. But it's a fall in a point because if they didn't interfere, you will move. Because if the water soak, it have a big crack under the kitchen. and you have one in front, so the water fall and go down in there. You go to everything. So the plastic, to kind of prevent the water from going down in the slip, in the crack, so we won't go.
He tells GBN that whenever it rains, the foundation upon which his home is built is further undermined.
Well, the house keep moving all the time moving. Doors in the room door can't open. When I twist the house twist, you push it out of the way and you can't go. So yesterday I just cut it out, cut out the hinge to try to get it to open. Put a pillar and the land is slipping so you come off again. Just put a recent pillar too.
Contractor for the Mount Kuma Road project, Joseph Gilbert, speaking with GBN earlier today, says they are aware of the situation and temporary measures are put in place to help stabilize the area.
Well, I think what we have done so far is to cover the area with plastic, which would limit the amount of intrusion, the rainfall in the soil there. So that will help to stabilize the area somewhat. It would not solve the problem. We are discussing the matter with our insurance.
He said there is an issue with drainage in that area and proper channeling will have to be done in the long term. Gilbert said they have also provided some financial assistance to the homeowner.
The plan is to move the entire structure up to more solid ground, and then to stabilize the lower portion of the lands. We're looking at what would be the cheapest and best solution for that area there. So we are discussing the matter with the consultant, and hopefully the insurance will step in to assist with that. Meantime, we have provided some funds to the owner, the house owner, to assist in maintaining certain things around the building.
Christina John, GBN News.
This is Network News. Still ahead from us, former Education Minister responds to allegations against a company contracted to sanitize schools. Stay with us.
Hubbard's is adapting to the times to enhance your shopping convenience with its new online store. You can now shop for appliances, hardware, houseware, builder's material, and still enjoy free delivery island-wide. Start shopping now at www.hubbardshardware.gd. Safe, convenient, reliable. Hubbard's. Quality service, affordable prices.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Do you know you can lower your electricity bill by changing the way you do laundry? Front-loader washing machines are designed to reduce electricity and water consumption. When upgrading, buy with this in mind. You can also lower your electricity bill by doing full loads of laundry, using the sunlight to dry your clothes, and ironing in bulk. As an individual consumer, I cannot impact global fuel prices. However, I can ease the burden of rising fuel rates by changing the way I do laundry. What can you do?
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Spare your pocket, spare the earth.
Grenada, get ready to win with the all-new Supermarket Sweep, the Back-to-School Edition, on Saturday, September 3rd. Be at Tanteen Playing Field from 2 p.m. Take part in our fun and exciting games and get a chance to win one of 24 $350 hampers or one of 26 bonus hampers valued up to $100, plus 50 school bags, a total of 100 giveaways. We've also got live entertainment and a bouncing castle for the kids. Tanteen Playing Field comes alive live on September 3rd. This is your chance to win. It's the Supermarket Sweep Back to School Edition. A game for we.
Pfizer celebrates 75 years of transforming lives with its celebratory suite of loan products. Own your own vehicle, education, land, or home, and anchor your roots. Start living the life you deserve by applying for an Own Your Own loan at reduced interest rates. Simplify your life and consolidate all your debts by applying for a Simplify loan and open doors to new beginnings and explore more opportunities to shape your future. Call or send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987 or email us at loans@arisecu.com today to continue your journey towards financial freedom. Terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union, celebrating 75 years of transforming lives.
Solar lights are back in stock and will be available for purchase at Southern Electrical. Here is a list of the solar lights that we offer. 200 to 300 watt intelligent floodlights with camera, 300 to 500 watt solar street lights, 60, 100, 200 and 500 RGB solar floodlights, 100, 200, 300, 500 and 800 solar floodlights, solar garden lights, 25, 40, 60, 100 and 200 watt solar floodlights, 3, 7 and 10 watt solar wall lights, motion center garden lights, motion sensor floodlights, 30, 60 and 90 watt solar street lights with accessories, 5 watt solar wall lamps, 40 and 60 solar street lights, and 100 and 300 solar floodlights with battery power display. Now available at Southern Electrical, Dusty Highway, St. George. Visit our showroom today.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Hello again. The United Nations team is meeting with cabinet ministers to chart the way forward. We get the rest in this report.
During a consultation with cabinet ministers and government officials earlier this week, resident coordinator to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Didier Trebek, pledged to support Grenada's transformation agenda. This will be done through its implementation plans 2022-2023, geared towards promoting the acceleration of the country's sustainable development goals. This forms part of a series of meetings to discuss ongoing programs to chart the way forward for creation of new and upcoming projects. With over 14 UN agencies on island, he says support will continue in vulnerable areas such as COVID-19 recovery, climate change, economic crisis, high cost of food, and financial restraints from international agencies and institutions.
At the United Nations, of course, we stand ready to support and amplify the transformative agenda that you have set out with your governments to promote inclusivity, people empowerment, particularly the youth, but also foster food security, holistic approach to healthcare as well, combating climate change, fostering blue economy, among many other areas, but I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot from you and your cabinet today.
Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell says his administration wants to leverage all efforts and opportunities to design, develop, and harmonize all projects and programs that will realize economic prosperity. The PM added that if Grenada is to achieve its sustainable development goals, government and supporting partners must address digital transformation, climate sustainable funding, and technical cooperation to boost its project implementation rate.
Digital transformation, both of government services and, in a sense, larger digital transformation throughout Grenada and by extension the OECS, particularly with a lot of the OECS regional institutions, is something that is common to both of us, and it's something that I think certainly we can work together to achieve. We recognize that to a large extent our continued existence, and if I dare say survival, depends on our ability to not just be climate resilient in almost all aspects of our life, but to be able to adapt. And so climate funding, and I say funding because to a large extent I think almost every aspect of what we do in Grenada is impacted by the climate. But I also accept that it's not just shouting or advocating for more funding. It's also developing our capacity to, should we get the funding, actually spend the funding. So I'm aware that many of us, including Grenada, face an implementation deficit when it comes to actually implementing funds that may be available. In some instances, actually sourcing and getting the funds.
Christelina John, GBN News.
Now, Labour Minister Claudette Joseph has termed the company that managed the sanitization of schools for COVID-19 as a ghost company. However, former Education Minister Emmeline Pear says it's a non-profit company managed by people she knows.
Minister for Legal Affairs and Labour Minister Claudette Joseph says government is working to get to the bottom of a number of questionable business transactions under the past government. She said these ghost companies, as she refers to them, have fleeced government of lots of monies.
In one case, in less than a year, $2 million in less than a year paid out.
In providing what kind of services?
Apparently, services related to implementing COVID-19 protocols in schools.
Oh.
And certainly long after those protocols were no longer in place.
The ghost company in question is the Faith Development Organization, which was contracted by government to manage the school's COVID-19 sanitizing. In a press conference on Thursday morning, former Education Minister Emmeline Pear said the contracts and other information are available.
The government, through the Cabinet of Grenada, then engaged them to facilitate the provision of the service. So the Cabinet did a conclusion to authorize the ministry to proceed to engage. They entered into a contract and provided that service. So I've heard, for example, somebody said there's absolutely no information in the Ministry of Education or anywhere on this arrangement. Well, the cabinet conclusions are there. I'm sure the contracts are there. The arrangements are there.
The Attorney General questions the identity of the directors of the company, but Mrs. Pear knows them well.
It goes deep. In one instance, it seems to be a ghost company because we can't find the actual company.
All of the persons involved in Faith, I know them closely. All of them. I have a very good working relationship with the organization that is registered as a community-based non-profit organization and have worked very closely with them. My former office manager, Callistra, is one of the directors of Faith, responsible for projects. And as I said, the persons involved are persons who are involved in community development initiative and particularly areas that I'm passionate about.
Minister Joseph believes vulnerable people are being pushed to the forefront with the impression that these people are employed by the government when that's not true. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Well, work on the Molyneux land slippage should get on stream by September of this year. GBN News followed up on the projects and has this report.
The final signing of agreements for work to begin on the Molyneux Road should be concluded by September.
The project has a start date now that will be the middle of September. The reason for it is that the acquisition process is still underway. At the moment, the land valuators are working, and we expect a conclusion to the agreement between the ministry and the individual owners to take place by the middle of September. At that point in time, the contractor, who is already on site, already prepared, has his equipment and he has his materials on hand, will kick off the construction process.
David Blake, resident engineer for the Molyneux land slippage project, notes that there have been consultations with property owners before construction can begin.
Detailed and extensive consultations with the owners of the properties, the affected owners, and the process was led by the ministry and supported by ourselves on the ground. The land valuation, after consultation with the individual owners, it was necessary to enter into negotiation for the price of the land, guided by the findings of and recommendations of the valuation office of the government. And that process, all the field work has been done.
Project manager Avinash Davadi says all the materials and equipment needed for the project are on island. The first thing that will have to be done once clearance is given, he says, is the demolition of current structures. He outlined the scope of work to be undertaken. The project, he says, is estimated to be complete in 10 months.
Project is basically in stages project. This entire length of the project has been divided in 3 sections. Section 1, Section 2 and Section 3. Where Section 2 is a major landslip area where demolition activity and piling activity is there, which is going to happen. And if you can just see on behind, already we done the marking for the piling, which location we have to do piles, and on the slope we have to do the benches, do the piles properly, and we have to come up with the retaining wall. The design what is given is a reinforced earth material which is going to backfill along with the concrete wall. So this will going in a step-by-step manner, and the retaining wall construction will be done and the road will be constructed accordingly.
The project manager notes that the road on completion will remain in its original location.
We are in the hiring process for the local employment. For the operators, everything we already started taking interview, and currently we have shortlisted for some people. And for the initial general clearance work, we already hired local people for some stuff for the safety signage and other thing. So we are hiring the local people here for the project work.
Thank you. Christelina John, GBN News.
Rehabilitation work at the Maurice Bishop International Airport is ongoing there. The initiative is welcomed by some and questioned by others. The project is creating a buzz on social media.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz report.
GBN Social Buzz is reaching beyond the local platform to share with you what's trending on social media. We browse the World Wide Web and bring to you the topics inciting the most reaction and debate among users. Work on the Maurice Bishop International Airport runway and road upgrade and rehabilitation project is in full swing.
By the end of October this year, rehabilitation work on the approximately 9,000 feet or 2,743 meters of runway at the Maurice Bishop International Airport will be completed. It is just the first part of the overall $67 million Maurice Bishop International Airport upgrade and runway paving project.
Social media users took to the comment section to express concerns about this latest development development. The following views are of members of the public and not of the GBN. Joseph said, last airport China took over was Africa. Be careful. Joseph also added, China gives money, but their people do the work. All the money goes back to China. Then Grenada has to pay back. Laughing out loud, smart move, China. Now I understand why I always wanted to be Chinese. They are smart. Rudy said, was it not Cubans that helped build the airport? I remember what happened after that. Patrick added, that's the problem with most of the islands. It's that they don't keep up to date with the maintenance. You have to, otherwise it will start to fall apart. Destiny said, more upgrade than that the airport needs. Ron added, I hope they could pay back China. Tessa claimed, I just don't trust these Chinese. They don't give something for nothing. They are very smart. I hope the Grenada government is smarter than them. I have been watching their behavior. That's what's buzzing tonight. We encourage you, our viewers and listeners, to submit your think pieces on trending topics locally, regionally, and internationally via our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
When we return, opposition concerned about government's back-to-school preparations.
Weather Guard Pro. For every project, there's only one Pro.
I want to control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath and relax it, and relax it. Eliminate violence.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via Superb Service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grandans, Victoria Street, Granville, and Central Deputy Street, Wall. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
Level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
We're back. Former Education Minister Emmeline Pear is calling on governments to provide more information to the public, especially on matters relating to the reopening of schools. Cherry Blackman-Stephen tells us more.
In a press conference Thursday morning, former Education Minister Emmeline Pay says many parents who rely on the school voucher program are asking questions, but the information is not forthcoming.
We are now at the 99th moment of school reopening, and parents are calling. They are flooding offices. They are calling the party office. I mean, no need to do that, because there should be a system in place that says clearly what should happen. And I want to appeal, whether it's the Prime Minister's ministry, the Ministry of Education, that at least between today and Monday, some serious efforts can be made to reach out to parents, to guide, to support. There must be some form, there must be some way.
Mrs. Payne said that they are also concerned about the haste in which the Deacon Mitchell-led government moved the program from the Prime Minister's office to the Ministry of Education. She says that this may be a good move. However, she is concerned about the short time for such a change.
Throughout Grenada, Carriacou and Pitimatnik, there are parents who are depending on those vouchers to prepare their children to go back to school. There are many of them who lost their jobs, did not get a fortnight, and this compounds the problem because now they don't have a voucher. And some of them will tell you, I don't even know how to access it.
Mrs. Pay called on government to take urgent steps to address these concerns. Last Friday, GBN spoke to Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Finley Jeffrey, who said they are in the final phase of vetting the list of people who applied electronically for school vouchers in July. PS Jeffrey said the list was going through its final vetting process in the Ministry of Social Development.
Once we get that list back, it would then be sent to the PMO, Prime Minister's office, for the voucher printing and collection.
Parents with preschoolers will receive $50 per child, primary school students $100 a child, and secondary students $150 per child. Each family can receive a maximum of $450 per family. The Permanent Secretary explained that parents will be informed about the collection of vouchers.
Now we are eliminating totally the constituency offices. So these vouchers would be disseminated through the Ministry of Education. And we are going to develop a schedule, and we are going to inform publicly of that schedule.
GBN reached out to Mr. Jeffrey once again today, and he told GBN that he is out of state. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
The story to report, the supervisor of the Melville Street Fish Market Complex, Jerry St. Louis, shared with our newsroom a massive one-fish catch on Thursday. The proud fisherman was identified by St. Louis as Mr. Hagley. St. Louis said the group of fish caught by Mr. Hagley weighs 168 pounds. He added that the grouper is the largest he has ever seen at the fish market. What a catch indeed. All right. Creativity, talent and skills combined are what our eyesore lens have captured. And it all comes from a teenager from St. David.
A good eye captures all. GBN Eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Featured in tonight's Eyesore is 14-year-old Dane Edwards of Latas, a student of St. Mark's Secondary School, who is the designer and engineer behind a handmade action figure using foil and raw talent. This action figure is called Bone Crusher and proudly stands on its own. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
We invite you to stay with us. The weather up next, followed by the sports news and around the globe.
Fuel your dreams with a communal vehicle loan. It's a huge deal with super awesome rates and discounts. Get the vehicle that's just for you. Enjoy your journey. Make memories. Explore more. We're fueling dreams to your destination. It's a huge deal and it's just for you. Your destination, and we'll take you there. Call or message us on WhatsApp 405-6670 or 405-2248. Let's get you where you have to be with Communal and Friends. This special promotion is in collaboration with The Beacon Insurance, Netherlands Insurance, Greens Automotive, RF Motors, and Specialized Automotive. We're fueling dreams to your destination. Apply today. Lending terms and conditions apply.
Be ready for school with the coolest deals from Court. Free gifts with your back-to-school purchases. Plus, up to 50% off cell phones, computers, printers, televisions, and more. Shop today with no cash and get instant credit on 3 to 36 months credit plans. Save big with great deals and head back to school in style. Only from Courts, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Keeping an eye on the weather. This is GBN. We've got you covered.
Weather for Grenada, Carriacou and PT Martinique valid for tonight and the following 3 days. Weather tonight, partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy with few brief to widely scattered showers and some fair spells. Tonight's minimum temperature 25.5 degrees Celsius. Wind easterly to east-southeasterly at 5 to 15 miles per hour, becoming variable to calm at times. Sea slight to moderate, waves 2 to 4 feet in open water. Tides low at 9:30 p.m., high at 3:45 a.m. Sunrise tomorrow morning, 5:58. The weather on Friday, August 26, partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy and breezy, with brief to scattered showers, and the possible isolated thunder improving during the afternoon. On Saturday, August 27, partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy and breezy, with few brief to widely scattered showers, improving during the afternoon. And on Sunday, August 28, partly cloudy to cloudy and breezy, with few brief to widely scattered showers, improving during the afternoon. That's the weather. Thanks for joining us. This is the Sports News. The GFA's Summer of Soccer Grand Finale is carded for Saturday from 9 in the morning at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. This is what we can tell you. Close to 1,000 junior footballers from 13 centres across the island are expected to converge at the venue. The programme, which kicked off in mid-July, is aimed at building love and passion for football while keeping children between ages 6 and 16 active over the summer vacation. Saturday's festival, according to GFA President Marlon Glean, is aimed at showcasing the skills learned over the past few weeks. Guyana Amazon Warriors were off to a winning start against the St. Lucia Kings in the men's version of the 60 competition, which is underway in Basse-Terre, St. Kitts. Batting first, the Warriors reached 111 for 5. Odine Smith led the batting with 36 from 24 balls. Hemraj and Hope chipped in with 18 and 19 respectively. Bowling for the Kings, Grenada's Preston Maxwell returned figures of 2 overs, 21 runs and no wicket. In reply, the Kings could only muster 104, with Roche and Primus hitting a zesty 41 off 23 balls. The Kings lost by 7 runs. Meanwhile, 6 runs from Grenada's Andre Fletcher and 9 from the Universe boss Chris Gale were always going to be a challenge as the Patriots fell to the Talawas, losing by 55 runs. Chasing 140 for victory, the Patriots lost their first wicket with the score on 17. It then went to 2 for 28. Fletcher went the cut and ball route by Gordon with the score on 36. Gale went for 9 runs and they reached 80. Fabian Allen had earlier top scored for Jamaica, hitting 45. Powell and Reefer hit 32 and 38 respectively. England pounced on South Africa's decision to bat first by bowling the Proteas out for 151 on the first day of the second test at Old Trafford. On a day when 13 wickets fell, England saw off some evening pressure to reach 111 for 3, 40 behind. South Africa, who picked 2 spinners, gambled on coming through a murky morning but were hustled out. Stuart Broad and James Anderson took 3 wickets each, the latter claiming 2 in 2 balls on his home ground, while Captain Ben Stokes chipped in with a couple. Despite batting in sunshine, England found themselves 3 for 3, 43 for 3, and were in danger of repeating the collapses that caused their downfall in the first test at Lord's. But under pressure, opener Zach Crawley added an unbroken 68 with Johnny Bairstow. Crawley is 17 not out, having soaked up 77 balls, with Bairstow unbeaten on 38. Victory would give South Africa an unassailable lead in the 3-test series, which includes at the Oval in September. That's the sports news for now. Here's what's going on. Protest action continues in Trinidad as scrap iron dealers and workers relentlessly press for governments to lift the 6-month export ban on scrap iron. Their latest action took the form of a motorcade. More in the CNC3 report.
Scrap iron dealers and workers are promising to continue taking action until government lifts the industry's 6-month export ban. On Wednesday, the Scrap Iron Dealers Association led a motorcade from the Brian Lara Stadium to Barataria. The group was hoping to bring their voices all the way into Port of Spain. However, permission was not granted.
Head to Port of Spain, and when we reach Port of Spain, we will go over the ramp. And when we go over the ramp, we will come around and go to, like, we're going to the Savannah in Barataria. We go in there at the Savannah in Barataria, and where we will close off there with whoever speeches and whatever, we will close up in Barataria, Savannah.
Speaking after the Motorcade, Association President Alan Ferguson said his workers cannot afford to buy books and food for their children. Now that their incomes have been affected, he called on his members to take their children to the homes of government ministers so they can feel their pain.
We're going to drop them by each and every one of the ministers they have in cabinet. We're going to drop them by them. If they don't like it, they'll let us see, because we don't have no money to take care of our children, because they take our industry from us. They stop us from making money. They stop us from work.
Residents of Vieux Fort aired their concerns on crime at an SLP town hall meeting on Tuesday night. The south of St. Lucia has experienced a flare-up in gun violence and deadly tough battles. Prime Minister Philip J. Pear affirmed his commitment to tackle the national security challenge confronting the entire country. More from HTS News.
Concerned residents descended on the Beanfield Secondary School in Vieux Fort on Tuesday night for an SLP town hall meeting. This is the first time in nearly 6 years that a Prime Minister has presided over a town hall meeting in Vieux Fort. The South has been racked by deadly violent crime. Political leader of the St. Lucia Labour Party, Philip J. Pear, contends the scourge is a grave region-wide problem.
There's a serious issue. Barbados, we do not hear it because it's reported differently. In Barbados, almost every day there is some shooting. That doesn't mean that we're doing well here, you know. That's not an excuse. That's a fact. So I don't want you to, we have to try ways and means of dealing with that situation. But people have this crime in Vieux Fort, crime in Vieux Fort, as if Vieux Fort is the epicenter of crime. That's not true.
Pierre argues that violent crime is not unique to Vieux Fort.
There is too much crime everywhere in St. Lucia. There is too much crime everywhere in St. Lucia. Before they used to say Marchand. Then they used to say Mondidon. Everywhere, there is too much crime everywhere. So let's not center crime as if we have... What's happened is that we have an issue of crime that we have to deal with.
Further afield, the Uvalde School District Police Chief has been fired over the bungled response to a mass school shooting in May. Pete Arredondo had been under scrutiny since the shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. 19 children and 2 teachers were killed in the incident. Arredondo says he has been made a scapegoat for the actions of others. Al Jazeera has more.
Board President, I move that good cause exists.
After 3 months, finally some accountability at a school board meeting in Uvalde, Texas. The first sacking since 19 students and 2 teachers were shot in their classrooms over 75 minutes by a heavily armed 18-year-old as hundreds of law enforcement officers stood in the corridor. The officer nominally in charge that day was School Police Chief Peter Arredondo. He's been blamed for not ordering the officers to tackle the gunman, as is protocol during a school shooting. He claims he did not realize he was in operational command.
You don't care!
But this hasn't been an explanation that has satisfied parents or those who lost their friends that day.
We'll be back to remind you of the headlines in a moment. The headlines just before we leave you. Director of Public Prosecutions Christopher Nelson says he's ready for legal battle with Harbour Master crew lawyer Catcherton Hood. Anderson Peters breaks his silence. Opposition concerned about government's back-to-school preparations. In around the globe, regionally, scrap iron protests continue in Trinidad over 6-month ban on exports. Internationally, Uvalde, Texas School District Police Chief fired over response to a mass school shooting in May. And in the sports news, Guyana Amazon Warriors and Jamaica Talawas off to a winning start in men's 60. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online, gbn.gd, on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Kenroy Baptiste. That's all from us in the GBN newsroom for the moment. Good night.
This could be out.